Hi, I'm David Fiske. I'm the author of a book called Solomon Northup, His Life Before and After Slavery. It contains new information about Solomon Northup, especially concerning what happened to him in later life. Now, you may already know who Solomon Northup was, but in case you don't, here's a quick summary.
Northup was a free black man living in Saratoga Springs, New York, when in 1841 he was lured away from home by two men. They told him they needed a fiddler for a circus they were connected with, and offered to pay him if he would go away with them. Northup agreed to go, and not too many days later woke up in chains in a slave pen in Washington, D.C. The men had sold him to a slave trader. Northup was taken to Louisiana, where he lived as a slave for nearly 12 years. In 1853, he was rescued and returned to his family in upstate New York. Northup's story became widely known after the New York Times published a front-page story about him. Just a few weeks after returning home, Northup appeared at some anti-slavery rallies near Albany, New York, alongside famous people like Frederick Douglass. In order to capitalize on interest in his story, in just a few months, Northup, working with a lawyer and author named David Wilson, finished a book called 12 Years a Slave. The book was extremely popular at the time. Following the publication of his book, Northup traveled around lecturing. I have learned of about 24 appearances that he made in cities in the Northeast during the 1850s. Some newspapers reported that he was a very entertaining speaker. After 1857, newspapers no longer reported on Northup making any appearances, but he may have been busy with other matters. Some letters written by a man whose father had been a minister in Vermont say that Northup, along with another black man named Tabbs Gross, worked with his father on the Underground Railroad in Hartland, Vermont. The circumstances of Northup's death remain unknown. In the 1870s, his wife is described as a widow, and in some notices of her death, it is mentioned that her husband had traveled around giving exhibitions until he became a worthless vagabond. Thanks for watching. To learn more about Northup, read my book, Solomon Northup, His Life Before and After Slavery. I'm also available as a speaker. For more information on me and my book, go to solomonnorthup.com.